right here we've got Rachel Davies from Cardiff University. She is the US champion. So that means that she will help manage your application and help with any issues that might come up if you're a student from the United States or Canada looking to apply to Cardiff University. So Rachel, can you just tell us a bit about your role, your title, what you do, and then if you want to tell us a little bit about Cardiff University generally, that would be fantastic.
Yep, so my name is Rachel, as you said. I am the country manager for the USA here at Cardiff. So that means I regularly travel to the US. I'm able to answer questions for US students, for counsellors. I'll keep an eye on your application, help you with the entry requirements, the application process, and basically just answer any questions that you have about coming to study with us. So Cardiff University is based in Cardiff. Cardiff is the capital of Wales. We're quite a big university, so we have about 31,000 students, about 7,900 are international, and we have a huge range of courses available. So we have about 300 different undergraduate programs here. So it is quite a big university, but the city itself is quite compact. So it's a great place to be a student because you have all the benefits of a modern European capital city, but not the size. So everything is right in the centre. The university is based in the middle of everything. You can walk everywhere. It's very safe, it's very friendly, and it's one of the most affordable student cities in the UK. So even though it is a capital city, the cost doesn't reflect that. So it is a really good place to be a student if you're looking for that mix of a city atmosphere, but maybe somewhere a little bit smaller with more of a community feel as well. But we have a huge range of academic programmes, and we're a Russell Group university. So in the UK, the Russell Group is a group of 24 research leading institutions. So that means that the academics teaching you are industry leading experts who are teaching you things that won't make it into textbooks maybe for a year to 2 years to come. So they're really cutting edge. So as an undergraduate student, you might not think of research automatically when you're looking for a course, but it is something that will have a really big impact, a really positive impact on your studies as well.
Excellent, thank you. Okay. I love Cardiff. It is like visiting London, but on a micro scale, affordable, safe, and walkable. Like just the ability to get from one side to the other. You can get from the Bay to the center city in about 25 minutes. They still have wonderful clubs, nightclubs, restaurants, shows, all those things you'd expect from a capital city. Just quite contained. But then if you want to visit London, 2 hours on the direct train, and they're every
Exactly. Yeah, so it's kind of the best of both worlds, and it's really changing a lot as well. So we've got new kind of restaurants and clubs opening all the time. There's a real street food scene as well, kind of an underground art scene. So even though the population is about 350,000, which really isn't very big, you kind of get that sense of a much bigger city in terms of what's on offer to you as a student. But as you said, it's only 2 hours from London by train, or you can get a bus from right outside the university. It takes a bit longer, but it's something like £10 return. You can go and get that big city experience for the weekend and come back really easily.
Rachel, can you tell me a bit about some of the highlights of why US students would consider coming to Cardiff University?
Yeah, so I mean, I think as well as obviously the courses, the breadth of courses, the opportunities to study, the fact that you can specialise in a subject that you like from the very beginning of your degree, I think it's kind of the student experience that really appeals to a lot of students. So we have a huge range of services available for students. You have the opportunity of guaranteed accommodation for every year of your studies as well. So most students will choose that at least in the first year. It's a great way to get to know other students. It kind of takes the pressure off a little bit. It's also always worth noting that you'll always have your own room. So that is quite different to studying in the US. We also have one of the best students' unions in the UK. So for those of you who aren't familiar, a students' union is run by students for students, and it's kind of the social and entertainment hub of the university. So it's where you go to join societies, to play sports, to join certain interest groups. And ours is, I think, at the moment, top 5 in the UK. So it's quite a large students' union because we're a large university. So it means there's something for everyone, no matter what your interests are. There's a Harry Potter society, there's a huge number of dance societies, specific kind of nationality societies. So it's a great place for students to go to meet other students. But we also have other opportunities to build into your experience of being a student. So everybody can learn a language for free. We have something called Languages for All, where you can sign up for a language each semester, and that is in addition to your course. You don't have to be doing a degree in a language. So that's a really good opportunity to build up your resume as well. We also have lots of opportunities to do placement years. So that's where you do a year spent working. It's like a paid internship essentially. Or you can do study abroad for a semester or a year. So there's a huge amount to consider when you're looking at the university, that it goes beyond choosing the subject that you want to study. And Cardiff has a lot to offer.
I want to introduce Matt Walsh. He's from the School of Journalism and Media. And Matt, I wonder if you could tell us a little bit about your role in the department and how it's structured, the courses you offer, a general overview.
Okay, sure. So I'm a senior lecturer at Cardiff University in the Journalism, Media and Culture School, or JOMEC, as we call it internally at the university. And JOMEC's a very well respected media school, journalism school. It's got a really big department. We've got something like 120 faculty that work at the school, and we have a wide range of programs, lots and lots of postgraduate programs and research programs. We've got big research profile, lots of professors who do lots of interesting and mind-bending things. And we also offer some undergraduate BA honours programs as well. So we have lots of undergraduate students, which is great for the atmosphere of the school, because it means there's lots of students, lots of young people looking at interesting and exciting things around the school. My main profile, I'm from industry. I was a journalist for 20 years. And I sort of came into the school as an academic to bring that kind of professional experience and that connection with industry to really sort of help to strengthen our relationships, particularly with commercial television, and to bring that knowledge to students as well. So it's a case of we not only talk the talk, but we also walk the walk.
That's fantastic, bringing that work experience into the student experience, so they're learning by actual practitioners about how the industry works. Definitely something that Wales is quite well known for. So I'm glad that you're able to highlight that in your own personal example. Can you tell me a bit about the undergraduate courses that students could take, and how about a bit about the size of the school and what size classes and things like that students might encounter?
So we offer 4 basic programs for undergraduate students. There's BA Media and Communications, which is a kind of wide-ranging media studies program. It looks at all the different types of media, popular music, cinema, social media, as well as things like news and stuff like that as well. We also offer Journalism and Communications, which is more of a journalism studies program. Might look at things like journalism's relationship with democracy and politics. BA Media, Journalism and Culture is a bit more of a magpie-like program. It kind of picks and mixes the best bits from the other 2 programs, so the students can choose a little bit about what they want to do. And then we offer a joint program as well with the School of Politics, which looks at journalism, media and politics. It looks very much at where journalism sits within political communication as well.
So I take it you focus on current events broadly, not just what's happening in Wales.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we are a global university. Cardiff is a big university in the UK. We draw students from right around the world, and the subjects that we're studying have influence right around the world as well.
So Cardiff University is incredibly competitive in their School of Media and Journalism. We would equate that to Columbia in New York City or something similar. So accolades, absolutely. In terms of additional accolades or resources that you would want students to know about, why would they choose this program to study, especially for the United States or from an international background?
The School of Journalism at Cardiff University is incredibly well equipped. We're in a brand new building. We only moved in about 18 months ago, and we have television studios which are equipped with all the latest cameras. They've got things like video walls and radio studios as well, editing suites, all of those sorts of facilities that you would expect to encounter, the technical facilities, cameras, all that sort of stuff. We've got all of those sorts of things built into the programs. We also are incredibly fortunate in that our building is right next door to the BBC, the national broadcaster for the UK. They've got a brand new building. It is so new that they haven't actually finished moving into it yet. The news programs have literally only moved in the last couple of weeks. So that's a fantastic facility as well, in that we have a very close relationship with them. There's a lot of cross-fertilisation of ideas between the School of Journalism and the BBC, and also personal personnel as well. So we get people that come over and teach on attachment from the BBC, and they help out by explaining and bringing that real expertise and up-to-date knowledge to the students as well.
Can you tell me a bit about some of the opportunities that students might have to get their own experience built into the campus structure?
Yeah, so we have some fantastic facilities in the university, and some of the things that are really great for the students are things like the student newspaper, which is a really big newspaper. It's read by all the students across the campus, and it's really professional. It's really well put together, and students that work on it get to work on all the sorts of jobs, whether it's a designer or a sports editor or a political editor, and it reports real news. It breaks stories. Occasionally, stories appear on there and then get picked up by the national press subsequently. So it's a really, really good training ground. So there's the student newspaper, there's also a student radio station, and a student magazine as well. Lots and lots of different places within this university structure for people to get that hands-on experience of actually doing journalism and writing their stories and actually writing for publication, getting that real feeling of writing something that other people are going to want to read, which is the whole point of journalism, is to write something interesting for other people.
In terms of the actual makeup of the degree, so the kind of day-to-day life of that programme, our courses are generally made up of a combination of lectures, seminars and tutorials. So the lectures are kind of the big presentation style classes where you've got a professor at the front talking about a subject. Seminars are where you're expected to be much more involved. They're smaller group teaching where you maybe pick a specific discussion topic or a specific problem and you look at that in detail. And then tutorials are even smaller. So it might even be one-to-one or a smaller group. Again, looking at something specific, maybe a specific piece of work. If you're doing a science-based subject, you might have some clinical work, you might have some lab work. Most courses will have some group elements to it, so you're working as part of a group project. So there is variety within that, but the kind of core structure of a UK degree is the lecture, seminar, tutorial. In terms of contact time, I think US students are often surprised that the contact hours tend to be fewer in the UK than they would be in the US, and that's because you're expected to be spending quite a lot of your time studying and kind of working yourself, so it's self-directed study. So students in the UK are expected to be very organised, to be independent learners, to be kind of able to problem solve and research independently. So it's a really good thing to look at in the sense that you will be equipped with all of those skills by the end of the degree in the UK. But that's not to say that you're being left unattended and unsupervised and unsupported.
One thing that I know American students are always surprised by is how we assess different. Mm-hmm. Okay, first of all, the numbers and the grade. They're different sometimes too. I remember my first grade was a 58 and I nearly died on a B+. So the grade scales are a little bit different.
Yeah.
Just how and when assessments happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I suppose the key difference is that we don't really have any kind of continual assessment in the UK. So traditionally, the course will be assessed at the end of each semester. So you would normally have exams, maybe some coursework or sort of written assignments. But that's not to say that there won't be other elements of assessment throughout the semester. So it's not kind of the be all and end all at the end of it. You'll probably have some oral assignments of group presentations, things like that. But it's not the same as maybe you would have in the US, where you might have a paper to hand in every week or a pop quiz every week. It's very much geared towards working your way through the semester and then working towards your assessments at the end. So that is something that I think is quite surprising for a lot of students. Many of our courses in the UK as well, it's worth noting, I think, will be pass-fail in the first year. So again, that kind of adds to that sense of it being an introductory element to the programme, that you're maybe not under as much pressure in that first year. It's kind of helping you to transition into degree level study. And then the bulk of your degree is generally based on third year. It goes without saying that obviously this depends on the programme. So this is something that you can find out in advance. Most universities, most Welsh universities will be pretty transparent about the process of assessment. But that would be kind of the standard process for us, of having assessments at the end of each each semester.
Thank you so much, Rachel. This was really helpful on all the different parts that we've talked and talking to Matt. So really appreciate your time and
No problem.
of Cardiff University.
Thanks very much for having me.